Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing The Piano Lesson directed by Malcolm Washington. So this is a film adaptation of a play by August Wilson from 1987, and it's about an African-American family in 1930s Pittsburgh. The story is based around the idea of a family conflict over a piano between a brother and a sister, Boy Willie and Danielle. This piano is a family heirloom, and it has a really unique feature that it's got these beautiful carvings by one of their enslaved ancestors. And so there's kind of a trauma embodied into the piano. I really like this aspect of the film, the metaphor of the piano being something to be enjoyed, but this piano brings pain. Danielle, the sister, can't bring herself to play it, and this is the centerpiece of the story, I think. However, I struggled somewhat with this film. It felt really long. It is over 2 hours. It felt to me always like a stage play. One thing I don't like about theatre compared to cinema is the way that the actors stand and wait for their next line. Somehow it so often looks unnatural. Film is able to get over this problem somehow. I never forgot that this was a play. Even Samuel L. Jackson, it feels like he was completely underused. Normally he's so powerful in a film, so authentic. I think this is my least favourite Samuel L. Jackson performance. Another problem might be related to the fact that this was a play, that all the characters are really good, I think. They do have depth, but each character is really unique. They all have very different personalities, like the author wanted a particular role for each person, and it just felt a little too contrived for me. For some viewers, the range of perspectives might deepen the thematic resonance of the story, but I just found it too contrived. As a device, each character does offer a unique perspective on the themes of legacy and identity. However, these sharp contrasts between the characters felt overly deliberate. It felt like the writer was kind of prioritizing diversity over any real organic family dynamics, and this definitely disrupted my immersion in the story. It's interesting to consider how my experience of The Piano Lesson as a white British man might differ from that of an African American viewer. I recognise that the cultural and historical context of the film might carry a much deeper significance for those with lived connections to African American history. This is a Washington family project, and Denzel produced it, Malcolm directed it, John David acted in it, and I can really appreciate that their collaboration reflects a deep personal commitment to celebrating African American cultural narratives. And this does continue Denzel Washington's long commitment and dedication to August Wilson's work. Although I didn't really enjoy this film, I do often struggle with period dramas, and perhaps this film somewhat resembles the historical dominance of white-centric narratives in cinema. We have so many white British period dramas like those based on Jane Austen's works, and while those films explore the nuances of British cultural heritage, which could perhaps be compared to The Piano Lesson in the broadest sense, they've often represented only a narrow, very privileged segment of historical storytelling. It is really important that we have diverse narratives in cinema, so I applaud this film for that. However, all that said, I really didn't enjoy the film. Apart from the fact that it felt staged, it really felt like a play. I thought the two strands of the storyline, the family drama and the ghost story, just didn't fit together. I'm wondering if this film was meant to be scary. I don't think it was. It didn't feel scary to me. I can imagine that on the stage they created a certain atmosphere. I can imagine how they did some of the special effects, but I had the feeling in the film the effects were like the stage effects rather than being cinematic. As I said earlier, I do like the device of the piano as a metaphor for the embodied trauma, these terrible things embodied in something so beautiful. Perhaps this works better in the stage play, but in the film, it did feel like the full potential of this powerful metaphor was never fully realized. For me, this diluted the lesson in the piano lesson, and it fell short of what it could be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.